everyone, to episode 9 of the COD Casuals. I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
Mike, this weekend.
Oh my God.
Last episode, we were talking about going into Major 2 for a lot of these teams.
Yep.
And, man, a lot of good games happened in Major 2.
Oh my God. It was, I mean, I'd have to say, it was probably one of the most action-packed weekends of Call of Duty, or weeks technically now because of how they're running, of Call of Duty that we've had in a long time.
Yeah. I hope people were able to watch it because this weekend was crazy.
Yeah. Every game that I thought was going to go like the way I thought it was going to did not. Everything was opposite day.
What should have gone right did not go right.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, it was crazy. For those who haven't seen, a team that we believe we've mentioned them already in our previous episodes where we're breaking down some of the CDL teams. It was the Toronto Ultra. It is
Your Major 2 champions.
It's so crazy to say that they are the Major 2 champs.
Yeah.
They slapped FaZe.
Yeah.
I think the final map count was 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3.
And yeah, I just don't really think there was a lot of
pretty convincingly too, to be honest. Like those matches, I mean, the majority of them were very close, and then, or at least the ones that FaZe won.
Yeah, they were pretty close. So like a quick thing, like when they have these majors, we've broken down before, I believe in previous episodes, how they play hardpoint and search and all that, and control, and how it's first team to 3 map wins. When it's in the major and there's the major final, it's the first to 5, so it's a best of 9 series. So it can be quite long. And yeah, I believe FaZe won the first game. They won that they won the hard point on Garrison. Was it? It was Garrison hardpoint, I think.
I can't remember.
I think it was Gary HP. Pretty sure they won that. I can't remember the. No, it definitely was because they were getting smoked in the beginning. Yeah. So then they lost that, and then Ultra came back and won like 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember the maps that they won.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But man, we like totally forget. It was such a blur. Because we were screaming our heads off.
But yeah, this episode we want to talk about the major obviously and the teams that won, that lost.
Yep.
Just like high level. And to update you guys about like a friend that watched the major with us, he had a blast. That was so much fun.
Oh yeah, no, it was great watching it with him.
Yeah,
and breaking down like just what we're doing here.
Yeah, for people that don't understand like competitive Call of Duty and like honestly these game modes, because most people just play team deathmatch.
Yeah, so he was asking like, okay, so what are the game modes? And we're saying, well, breaking down each of them. And I'm like, hard point, look for 250 points.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what they're competing to get. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every time they're in that little spot on the map, every second is 1 point. And he's like, okay, got it. I'm like, if they're both in it, they don't get any points.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, easy enough. I'm like, yep, that's all you got to know.
He picked it up pretty quick. I mean, the game modes aren't hard to understand.
No, they're not.
It's he started to realize like quick the part that gets confusing is like how fast people like get traded out and die,
right?
Because they're constantly just moving around the map and switching between players.
Yeah.
And he also asked a question like, why doesn't this guy see this guy? He's like right there because it's highlighted on the COD like viewer screen, but a lot of people don't realize that this is for the viewer for us to see, but these players don't see those other players highlighted
right
on the screen.
Yeah. No, that's true. They just do that for our ease of what's going on, because otherwise we'd be pretty blind. So we can see these things developing a bit easier. And it's also those moments where we can see
they're right next to each other, but they don't know that they're there.
Yeah. Or just like the worst timing in the world happens where like a guy will be looking down like one lane for a few, like probably like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then that 1 second he looks away. That's when the guy crosses. Yeah. And if he stayed there, he would have killed him.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Yeah. It was really cool to see, just watch someone that doesn't understand COD at all, that just plays COD normally and trying to break down competitive COD to him.
Yeah, and he's even somebody who doesn't play COD all that much either. He used to.
Yeah, used to.
But he doesn't really know any about like the guns or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was still he loved it.
Yeah.
Which goes to show, man, even
the
if you're
future
not
of the CDL.
Exactly, right? It's even if you don't play the game,
Yeah.
you know, he was
getting hyped.
He was getting hyped. Yeah. He was getting it was all over Insight. Insight on the Toronto Ultra was his guy.
Yeah.
Because he liked his name. And I was like, sure. You know, he's like, is he good? I'm like, yeah, he's nasty. Yeah. You know, so it was great.
Yeah. No, that was a good time. Hopefully for Major 3 we can get him to watch again.
Oh, for sure. He'll want to watch it.
But yeah, we can just talk a little bit about this Major. My bracket that I filled out, I had OpTic winning. That didn't happen. R.I.P.
Yeah.
They lost in the most unluckiest way possible. And people are saying, no, they just played bad. I'm like, no, that was very unlucky. I don't know how many of people listening just get triples like lined up in S&D. Pretty sure it's not often, and you're a public player, so.
Yeah. No, anybody... you have to go check that out. It was OpTic Chicago versus Minnesota Rocker. You just type in that Major 2. It was the last game that they played.
Yep.
It was
round 11.
Round 11, that's the final round of search. And yeah, one of the players on Minnesota Rocker, Accuracy is his name. Just, you know, I mean, props to him. Can't take anything away from him. You know, he made that happen.
Yeah.
You know, he took advantage of that luck that happened.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, yeah, we not taking anything away from Rocker, but they knew that was shouldn't have happened. I think all these pro players, they knew that should never happen.
Which makes it like so hard to swallow. Yeah, you know, it's because it's something that is just it probably won't happen in another couple of years of playing.
Round literally like on the line, the game on the line too.
Because they had showed, I can't remember who it was that put it up on Twitter. This had happened. Yeah, Lando. This had happened with the same player, Accuracy, back on Call of Duty World War II, where it was a 1v3 and they lined up for him. But even then, that was like, I can't remember what round that was in search. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah,
like if they lost that, it was not the end of the game. It was like a round 4, round 5.
Yeah,
in search.
I think it was like 3-1.
Yeah, it was like a middle of the game. They got that win. This was do or die.
Yeah,
like this was going to whichever team lost that round of search was done.
Yeah,
and it was heartbreaking. Yeah. Obviously, people listening, they know we're OpTic fans.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I wasn't watching. I was skateboarding.
Yeah,
and then you told me.
That was I was at an all-time high when I saw it was a 4v2. I was like, oh, OpTic got it. OpTic got it. Then it was a 3v1. I'm like, it's over. It's over.
It's done.
And then Accuracy just destroys all three of them.
Yeah.
And instantly, like, the game's over. And it sucked.
Even thinking about it now, I get a little sick to my stomach.
Not at all.
Yeah, their search was clinical.
Yeah.
They looked great.
And I mean, they choked. They're up 5-3.
Yeah,
they should have closed it out.
Yeah,
they definitely should have.
Yep.
But man, like to end it like that, they literally almost came back, and that happened.
Yeah, and they were throughout that game, that series, they were playing fantastic.
Yeah,
Formal and I think Formal and Dashy were just on another
level. Out of their mind.
Yeah, so. That just makes it all the worse that they lost in the fashion that they did.
Yeah.
There were just massive upsets, which again, why this is why this league is so damn good. Like it's heard all the time. We're like, oh, this is the most competitive year. It's like, yeah, we know that.
Yeah. But it really is.
But when you really watch it unfold, it's great because. I mean, how often in sports do you see stuff like this happen where literally anybody can win?
Yeah, right. If you're watching like football, for example, I mean, the Bucks, the Buccaneers against like, I don't even know. Let me pick a
dog team.
Yeah, the Bills played well. The Jets, the New York Jets.
Right.
There is a very, very slim chance that the Jets are going to win.
Yeah, exactly. It's It's crazy, and like why this was so good is I think they threw out the statistic. It was of like thousands of people who made brackets. It was like 8 people
Yeah,
who were like, yeah,
that predicted Ultra were gonna win.
yeah, and they've been looking okay, but they've just like most of these teams they've been looking great, and then they've been looking not that great.
Yeah, CODs, they just didn't show up that day or something.
Yeah,
but
man, they showed up on Sunday.
Yeah,
they showed up.
But I mean, OpTic, like they looked good going into Majors 3. I'm sure they'll clean everything up.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah, and like I mean, a lot of these teams, regardless that they lost matches and stuff, like a lot of them improved. Not many of these teams just look like they declined.
I think the only team that did
Subliners.
Yep, was New York Subliners.
Yeah.
I think they were the only team that looked like they declined.
Yeah.
Which is tough. New York, they started off in winners and then they lost. I think their first game, right?
Yeah, they didn't win a single map. They got 3-0'd in both series.
Yeah, okay.
They lost to in winners bracket.
They lost. Did they lose to Dallas? That was the first game they played. They lost to Dallas Empire,
and then they lost to LA Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, so it's crazy because when we prior to this, I can't remember in episode 8 if it had happened yet. If Slasher, one of the members on LA Thieves, had been benched.
Mm-hmm. I think we mentioned it.
I think we did mention that.
We just didn't know who was going to replace him.
Yeah. Newsflash. LA Thieves looked like a huge W for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've looked horrible.
Yeah.
Prior to this, and then they show up in this major. Yeah, Draza from Alaska. Right.
The vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, the vibes.
Draza was originally on the bench previously, and I thought he should have gotten a spot when they benched Temp, but they picked up Venom. But once they benched Slasher and they put in Draza, like the vibes were so much better. They're smiling. They didn't care like what happened honestly on the map. They're just flying around and having fun.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for that. As to how they were feeling, and just that comfortability. Because again, when they had Slasher on the team, you could tell it was very serious. And, I mean,
no smiling. No.
Yeah, it's hard for us to have a definite answer. We never really can. But it seemed like it was definitely methodical. Like they were going into every round and they're like, look, this is what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna do this, and like if you screw up, like it's your fault.
Yeah.
Just a lot of pressure because Slasher tends to run his teams that way from what we've heard. He takes the game super serious.
Yeah.
And runs his teams that way. He's had success, but didn't seem to run that well with this team.
And I mean, every COD's different. So
yeah, true.
That team, I'm sure, would be successful in like any other COD, but this COD it just didn't.
Right.
Which that's like the interesting part about like Call of Duty. These teams that are winning right now, next year they could all just be awful.
They could be.
Like FaZe could just be terrible in the next COD.
Not likely, but
not likely. Usually the top teams that are always good are like Empire, OpTic, and FaZe. Like those teams will most likely not change.
Yeah.
Going into next year.
Yeah.
But this major though, there are a lot of upsets. The majority of these games were upsets.
Yeah.
And Toronto Ultra they came out to play this weekend and they swept, to be honest. They looked really comfortable.
Oh yeah. No, they looked fantastic. And what was cool too was on Sunday they played 3 games? They played the
they played
elimination
3.
round 5. Then they played the elimination final and then the major final.
Yeah.
And that's something we could talk about a little bit before we get into what we wanted to discuss later about this format and what we think about it, because this has been up for debate, especially after this. I mean, not taking anything away. I mean, Ultra they looked fantastic, and they beat them fair and square. There was no BS behind it. But there is something to be said for the fact that Ultra played 2 games prior to this, hard games, and are warmed up and ready to roll.
Yeah.
And FaZe, the only game that they're playing to start today is the major final.
Yeah. And before this format, previously, like in the MLG days and the CWL, players would have like multiple teams to scrim with, like at all times at events.
Yep.
And you would be playing COD for like hours a day.
Yeah.
So you were always like warmed up, you know. But in this format, like you have no room to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Like some days, you'll play one match and that's it.
Yeah.
And you can't have an off day that one match.
Right.
So like a phase, for example, they made it to major finals. They're waiting for Ultra. I'm sure they scrimmed like before.
Yeah.
Or just like shot bots and stuff. I'm sure they scrimmed before in practice.
Yeah.
But like all the other teams got knocked out. Like what teams would want to like practice after they got knocked out of a tournament? You know.
Right.
So like that's tough. I'm sure they scrimmed like some pro team that was like, yeah, we'll practice with you. But you got to think like after being knocked out of a tournament, you're like, all right, I'm not. You're like, why would you play?
Yeah, and especially too, a good point is the new patch that had come out in this game, right? So that came out before this major, but they had to play on the old patch.
Old patch, yeah.
So now these guys are moving on. Like if you got eliminated early, I'm sure those people are already like, all right, let's go to the new patch.
Yeah.
You know, maybe figure out if there's anything new that we can work on. I don't know to what extent, but they probably don't want to be playing on the old patch, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they have to scrim those guys on.
They would just be doing that to help out FaZe,
to
get practice.
Yeah.
But, like, it's either, they want to move on, practice a patch, or they're like, we finished a major, we didn't win. It's all right, let's take a break and, recover, move on to the next major. But, yeah. I mean, FaZe also, they just didn't look right even after they played 8 matches.
Yeah.
8 maps, and they just didn't look the same.
No, they didn't. They definitely, in Search and Destroy, they struggled.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
Surprising, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that was really was looking pretty good for them was their hard points. They were looking pretty good in hard point. And then Control, I can't remember the first Control, how that went, if it went the way of Ultra. But I do remember like one of the later games they played Raid Control and they got 3-0'd.
Yeah.
And same thing with Search. Like they played Miami Search and
Express Search.
Yeah. And Express Search, didn't
6-0.
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bance went 10-0.
Yeah.
He didn't die at all.
Benjamin Bance.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, what a weekend out of him. What a series out of him.
Yeah.
Insane.
Everyone was telling him, bench yourself, drop Bance.
Yeah, man.
And then he shows up.
It drives me nuts, Like we're fans of all these guys. Like we've talked about it in those other episodes when we break these people down. We don't know everything about these guys because
we're not pros.
Yeah, we're not pros, and we haven't followed it like to that extent where we are like
well, this is even
read the bio on these guys and know every game they've ever played.
Even if like I feel like I've been watching for a while before you.
Yeah.
But like there's not a lot of stuff on these guys, that like Bance. I know he's been playing for a while, but it's not like he's like you can just go Wikipedia him,
right.
Literally his entire life story pops up.
Yeah.
The only reason why like OpTic and FaZe, like Dallas Empire, they're so well known is because they make so much content.
True. Exactly.
And but that's why like we can't talk shit about any of these players, and like you shouldn't. They're professional players. They know they did something wrong, and it doesn't help to just they lost a match. Do you really think pointing out a mistake or like trash talking them is going to help them? Like they know.
Yeah.
And we have no right to say anything about them. We're not pros.
No, I couldn't agree more, man.
We can give our opinions, but
But dude, these losers out there who tweeted these guys like you need to retire
right after the match too.
You're trash.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It drives me up a wall, man. Or especially the experts on Reddit.
The coaches that come out of nowhere.
Yeah, the wannabe coaches on Reddit who just roast and talk about all the problems of these teams. It's ridiculous.
We could do a whole episode on this because it makes me so angry because they do this in like other sports too, like football and basketball. I'm like, really, huh?
Yeah,
really.
You know me, man. Like I don't really follow like a ton of NBA and NFL. Like I know like some super basics about it, but particularly with this, it's different for me just because like the culture of people, like the idea of like gamers,
Yeah,
you know, like
the
those
stereotype.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's who I think of, and those are the guys who are on Reddit like roasting these
Keyboard
teams.
warriors.
Yeah, you know.
Like, you got to think they're just sitting there, like they're waiting for like OpTic to lose, and they're just like, oh, I can't wait to type this out and just shit talk them.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, you know, and like what happened to OpTic. Again, you know, it's unfortunate. Yeah, a loss is a loss. They lost fair and square. But people out here, Scump needs to retire. They gotta drop Dashy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what are you?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know,
I saw a lot, especially like Envoy, like he ran up and challenged a 1v1 against accuracy, and this will lead into like our topic, like, you know, later on in this episode. But like, he was trying to get map control. Because he got it was 4v1 at that point, and then accuracy traded him. You know, maybe that wasn't the right play, but there was a reason why he was trying to do that.
Right.
And people were like, "You need to bench yourself. You need to get dropped because you're not making the smart plays." I'm like, dude, in the heat of the moment, it's kind of hard to think like, "Oh yeah, let's stack up." And he was close with them, but he was probably thinking, "I need to get map control because he knows someone's there, and maybe he can catch someone off guard."
Right.
But people are tweeting at him, and I just saw that in the feed. I'm like, man, like, he knows he did something wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
And you're just going to keep telling him that. And then this was like last week or something, but I remember someone like tweeted at Envoy, and then Arcides replied. Actually, he was doing the correct correct play. We need more of that. We need more of that. We need pros to
check these people.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's been going on, you know, in other CODs as well. But yeah, it just seems like as of late, it's been crazy. You know.
Yeah.
Especially what's even worse is I wonder with some of these teams if they listen to this stuff, because there's some players who have been benched, and it's like, wow, like really, you're gonna bench these guys, Like what happened recently was one of the players on a team we've mentioned them already, Florida Mutineers, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, with Cesar Skies Bueno and all those guys slacked, right? Investing. You know, so about them, like they're super hot and super cold. Which if you haven't watched the Call of Duty League, that unfortunately tends to be how some of these games play out. Is some of these teams are hot, and then other events they're not so hot, you know. That's why some of these top teams like FaZe and Dallas and OpTic, as of late, you know, they are pretty consistent. OpTic has been struggling with that. But Mutineers, they went and dropped one of their players, slacked. This was benched, benched him. Like this just happened yesterday.
They did it in a real sketchy way too. They did it like right after Ultra One. Like expecting no one would see it. You know, like trying to hide it.
Like right when the game ended and it was like Ultra the champions,
and everyone was celebrating, you know, congratulating them. They announced that
they benched him, and Slack tweeted out like, I've been benched. Which it's unbelievable. You know, he's a staple in COD. It's just like with Slasher being benched too. These two guys. I mean, Slasher, it's tough because his team did really well without him. So we'll have to see what happens with Florida if they do perform better.
I mean, I'm sure. I would hope a lot of these teams don't take these like Reddit coaches to heart. But I mean, like, you know, I'm sure they don't. But like that gets you mentally.
Oh yeah,
just seeing all that, man. Like these people just shit talking you, and you know they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if they hopped in a pub, you're not standing a chance. I promise you.
Yeah.
We played Arcides in a VZ. And we joke around. Yeah, we beat him one map out of like the eight.
Probably like 8 or 9 times we played him.
And
they had a guy on their team who was absolute dog water. He was so bad.
Yeah, he didn't like capture anything.
Yeah.
And I would say like me and you are better than like average players.
Yeah.
But like we know where we're at compared to those pro players. Like, man.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
So, and also like the COD scene too. Man, people shit talk all the time. I get trash talk and, you know, shit talking people when you're online.
Yep.
But there's a difference between that and just like me and you will join a game and we talk to it. We'll say like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah. Trying to be nice people.
Are like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, your ass." I'm like, What just happened?
Yeah, seriously, they go right at you. They're like, yo, dude, go fuck yourself, man, you bitch. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what just
Like,
happened?
dude, I didn't even say anything. I just said, hey, what's up? You know,
Yeah.
anyone got a mic?
Yeah.
Like, yo, shut up, loser. I'm like, okay, dude.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I hope the people listening to this aren't like that.
Yeah,
you know,
honestly.
man.
If you are, stop doing it.
Get
man.
the COD scene. Oh, we need to clean up the COD scene.
Seriously. No, it's brutal. And what's really bad too is, you know, it kind of ties in with, you know, like not going too deep, but like some mental health these people. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, man, everyone to some extent.
We could do a whole episode on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's definitely it's true.
Yeah. Well, like with staying on with Bance,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he tweeted out like, you know, he was thinking about benching himself. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm trash.
He thought about retiring.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I should just
Mm.
retire. Like, I'm trash, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm sure part of that is because he sees his mentions on Twitter,
Mhm.
and I was like, man, I could not imagine.
Yeah.
You know, you're just getting hundreds of people. Bench
Yeah.
yourself, you're trash. Like, your team's losing because you suck. And,
Yeah.
like, you're thinking, like, everything you work for, like, it's really hard to block that out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I like Scump on OpTic Chicago.
He does a great job of not like saying anything.
I think, yeah, and I think part of it is just he doesn't even, like, he blocks so many people.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't
Yeah.
even look at it.
Mhm.
He's like, nope, like, it's
And
not
he's
worth
been dealing it like since he was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
his whole career.
Yeah.
You know, and plus, I don't know why, but I feel like there are definitely way more OpTic haters now than back in the day. And I think people just want to hate on OpTic because they're OpTic.
Yeah, it could be that. I think part of it too is just the expectations that the fans and the community
yeah.
has of
Mhm.
OpTic. You know,
Yeah.
because Seth is one of the best ever, and they've got such a good. They've have
Mhm.
arguably one of the best lineups they've had.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, they had that back when they had Arcides and
Mhm.
Gunless
Yeah.
back in Modern Warfare last year.
Yeah.
You know, and they have such a good squad, and they have all the ability, and
Mhm.
when they don't deliver,
Yeah.
it's just so upsetting to people.
Yeah. No, I
know?
agree with that. But then, like, you got to think, too, look at the other teams.
Oh, you
Like, look at FaZe. Like,
yeah.
when FaZe lost, I didn't see a lot of hate towards FaZe.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it was just, you know, people are like, it's a fluke or whatnot. I'm like,
Mhm.
look at their roster. They shouldn't lose. You can say the same exact
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They have Simp, BZ, Arcides, and Celium.
Yeah.
You look at that roster and they shouldn't lose. Like,
Yeah.
you can compare all these rosters, and again, it's just so competitive.
Yeah.
But the people that hate on OpTic for like losing all the time, like, you definitely were an OG like back in the day when OpTic was like placing third all the time, or like fifth
Yeah.
or seventh,
Yeah.
or they didn't even make bracket play.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they weren't I mean, they were a good team, but they had they focused on content creation.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I mean, you just you got to support a team on its ups and downs, no
Yeah.
matter what. You know. I mean, that's like what I've always felt like a true fan is.
Yeah.
You know. And it's like, to me, like, yeah, it's,
we're a brick in the green wall.
yeah, you know, I mean, it sucks, sure. Like,
Mhm.
you, of course, you wanted them to do better.
Mhm.
But man, you like that happens. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
We're
Like,
just nicer people.
yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, like that.
Or soft.
Yeah, soft ass people. You know. Yeah, I mean, like that's if you play the game, you understand that Call of Duty. They say a lot. It is day to day.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is, you know, like who's to say that Ultra is going to be good next major?
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
they could get smoked,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, that's the way it is. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
some teams like
mhm.
Florida Mutineers were great last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were doing really, really well. And right now they just can't get it together,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look at Subliners in their major, in season 2, like leading up to this major. What, they lost one map,
Yeah.
they won all 3, and they show up to this major. They didn't even win a single map.
Yeah, they got destroyed,
Yeah,
you know?
like,
Yeah, it's just, it's so hard to predict.
and people are like, Clay, you gotta retire, because he had one bad series, the first series.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't play well, and he knows it. And people
Yeah.
are like, you gotta bench yourself and
Yeah.
retire.
No, it's disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful.
You know, it just it's uneducated.
Mhm.
You know, that's why like, you know, I don't ever tweet anything,
Mhm.
but I would never say anything to these guys because like, what do I know compared to them?
Yeah,
You know, like
they're the ones playing.
yeah, you know, I mean, there's certain people that I enjoy listening to, like a podcast we listen to, The Flank.
Mhm.
You know, but those guys, can they can talk about that stuff because they're all professional
Yeah, they're
players,
all professional players.
you know,
They know what they're talking about.
Or former pros.
Yeah.
You know, they've played at a level that most people, you know, that most of us don't ever play at and will never play at. And they have a next level understanding of the game.
Yeah.
You know.
And I would say, like, me and you, we have a pretty good understanding of the game.
Yeah.
But we're trying to bridge that gap between, like, you know, casual players and then the pro players.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure there are other people listening to us that they probably know more than us about strats and stuff.
For sure.
But, like, me and you, we're not trying to be pros. We just sit down and we like to enjoy, like, watching professionals.
Yeah.
At the highest level and, like, they're frying.
Yeah. So, you know, it really needs to stop, you know.
It does need to stop.
You know, I mean, it doesn't. We're
it's
talking
not gonna,
about. No, it's not going to stop, you know. But it's very frustrating when you see it happen. All the time to these people because you think about it. You know, like I wasn't even really upset that OpTic lost. You know, it was more that I was upset because you see the pain in their face and it's like, man,
how
I
much
can't
it meant to them.
Yeah.
And then people tweet to them, you guys aren't trying hard enough.
They don't care and like all this stuff. It's just I can't really imagine what it's like for those guys, especially with all the pressure on them, you know, because everyone's a bunch of pricks to them.
Yeah, because they're OpTic.
Yeah, you know, so and that's what they think. They let everybody down, you know.
Yeah.
And you and me and like normal people are like, dude, that shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Like it's not the end of the world, you know. Like
if you look at all their tweets, they're like supporting teams.
Yeah.
Because like that's what you have to do. Like we're a fan of the CDL.
Exactly. We've said that multiple times.
Yeah. And we're OpTic fans, but you can't hate on like other teams just because they played bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tweet Rocker.
Trash.
Like, you guys are trash.
Yeah.
Lucky.
See ya.
Barely won.
Yeah. No.
But it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like when they lost that, they just went on their phones. They're like, it's all gonna come in now.
Yeah.
I saw one guy tweet. He was like, you have to drop Sender as a coach. Like, how did he let that happen? I'm like, dude, he's not even holding the controller.
Yeah, exactly. You can't blame the coach.
He's not even
on
the like. He's not even on the mic.
Yeah, exactly. You can't blame the coaches on that. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, and all he does is walk behind them, and he's like, "Yo, good job.
Yeah,
let's keep it going."
You know, it's like a guy in the NFL fumbling the ball, and they blame it on the coach. It's like, what?
Yeah,
it's like, dude, he's not holding the ball.
I saw that tweet. I'm like, that guy needs to be deleted.
Yeah, seriously.
It does.
Away. But now overall, I mean, between that OpTic game and you know, I mean, just every game on Saturday and Sunday, they were fantastic. So yeah, huge hats off to Ultra.
Yeah, congrats to Ultra. That was fun to watch.
It was really
very fun.
You know, and it was great too to see them take down a team that most people didn't think were beatable.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been really scary if FaZe won that. Because FaZe that was the only game they played that day.
Yeah.
And Ultra were playing out of their minds. And if FaZe beat them, that's like, oh my God.
They're on
like,
another level.
Yeah, because dude, the first game, they were getting slapped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. Like FaZe is not screwing around.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're beatable.
They are beatable.
They are beatable.
So they're 13-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
14-2. Looking at their record now.
Yeah. Crazy record.
I mean, that record's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what just makes this whole league so good. And that whole thing of it being day to day, I kind of like that because you know,
you never know.
Yeah, and a big thing too that was with Ultra, which was awesome. After every game was the composure.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that even if you're in like a public game, you gotta have to some extent, whether you're playing by yourself or with people. Like you and I know if we're down, you know, we're losing and these guys are using thermal stoners and just, you know, people that
can't let it get under their
straight
skin.
Mouth breathers. Yeah. You can't let it get under your skin.
Yeah.
And they would lose games and you see them like they're all in the facility next to each other. Like, yo, let's go, guys. Like, no,
it's
like,
all right.
Who cares?
Close.
Who cares? Who cares? It's over. It's over. You know, like close game. You're like, we're fine.
And we should talk about it in pubs. Like in pubs, if I swear, like me and you, we never go into a game and we die like 5 times and then we quit. Yeah. We do not hop into games and quit out.
I can probably count like in this entire time we've been playing this game, I can maybe count like on one hand.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely on one hand how
Yeah.
many times we've left. And it's usually because of like lag issues.
I'm no bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Don't be a bitch
Yeah.
and leave the game.
Man, yeah.
Especially the last round.
Oh,
for the
yeah.
love of God.
Yeah, right? Like, we'll talk about our highs. Like, me and you will be me especially, right? No, right? When I'm getting... Yesterday, I think it was... No, 2 days ago, guys, right? I was playing Pines Control by myself. You were away. I think you were working or something. But
Right.
I was playing Pines Control. I went 25-0. I went 31-0 actually on the whole map.
Oh, yeah.
But I was on a 25 kill streak.
Yep.
And everyone on the other team left.
Yeah.
I didn't get my nuke.
Yeah. Still hunting for that coveted
I'm
nuke.
still hunting for it. And I'm like, really? Like, you couldn't just stay in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you played 2 whole rounds, and now you're getting no XP from that.
Yeah.
And you're getting a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And your KD is going to go down if
Yeah.
you care about that.
Yeah.
But you left the game, and, like, I couldn't get my nuke. I was so pissed. Like, man, I was so close, and that happened.
Yeah.
Or, like, me and you will be playing. Both of us will go and, like, go 0-3 or 0-4 in the first round. We're like, we're good.
Yeah.
We know it was just a bad round.
Yeah, because I mean, have that self-confidence, but you just know, too, like, maybe you're playing, like, you're doing stupid things, or they're playing a certain way, and you got to adjust.
Yeah. Adapt.
Yeah. You know, I'd be like, yep, fuck those guys, however they're playing.
Yeah, and you just need one round. When we're playing Control, we've been down 0-2 plenty of times, and we think, like, the other team's just frying, like, our team specifically, and we're like, it's all right, one round at a time.
Yeah.
You get that one round, you get momentum. Round 2, they're playing a little bit scared. They're not pushing up as much.
Right.
And then we start getting map control, and that's what we wanted to, like, talk about a little bit.
Yeah, we can wrap up a little bit of that, chat about it.
Yeah. When you start getting map control in the game and you're playing with confidence, it's basically over.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously, it is.
When we go into that round 5, like, it's over. We already know we're going to win.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Mainly with us, since it's only 2 of us playing, map control, I mean, again, since it's only 2, and maybe we have other guys who are, if they're licking walls, right? Or if they're people who have brains.
Yeah.
We really try to just push up.
Together.
Push up together and try to get in their spawns.
Yeah. We, like, secure an area together
for
the most part. And
particularly in Control, because that's mainly what we play.
Yeah. And we push up together to the point, and then if we, like, part ways, it's always in the same area.
Yeah.
We're watching each other's backs and stuff.
Right.
But, I mean, for the people that have a team of 4 to 6 people, like, man, if you guys all push together at once, maybe 2 people, 3 people will die at once. Like, you guys are a wall. And it's going to be really hard to lose when you're doing that together.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're pushing up, especially if you're playing Control and you're trying to capture a point, oh, man, if you're pushing up all together on a point, it's like the greatest thing. Because maybe, say you got 4 or 5 people, 2 of you guys go down, well, that's still 3 guys that can probably kill that guy who smoked your team, and you can stack the point, bring everybody back in.
Yeah.
And you can play, games can be a lot easier, a lot less.
Way easier, yeah. When you're doing that. And it's just simple, too, just, like, run with your teammates. Don't run, like, wild, one at a time. That, like, a lot of these pro teams, when they lose these matches, I would say it's because they're a stupid mistake. They're taking, like, one-on-ones that they shouldn't be taking.
Yeah.
That they don't need to take.
Yeah.
And, like, that same thing applies in pubs.
Yeah. And that's what we saw with FaZe a fair amount. Is usually that works for them.
Yeah.
These one-on-one gunfights, because they are so good.
Yeah.
But Ultra they were fighting them back, and they were countering them. And it wasn't working, and it ended up costing them.
Yeah.
And in pubs too. I mean, man, there's so many times where you and me will be like just going rogue, and we'll be chowing, and then we die, and I'm like, man, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have to do that. Or like I look and I was one shot and I just jump around the corner anyway, like I'm gonna get him. I'm like, and then I die. I'm like, dude, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, and that puts like one of us in a situation where we have to stay alive for like a few seconds, and wait for the other person to run, and like help out.
Yeah, no, it's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you shouldn't always try to put yourself in those positions.
Yeah.
If
You have a team of 4, like, man, I wish we had a team of like 4 to 6 people.
Yeah, no,
We'd
I do
run
too.
through pubs.
Oh yeah, we would never lose.
Yeah.
You know, like most of the times we play, we win. On
Mhm.
like we got that nice 2.3 win loss ratio. You know,
Yeah.
so we win a fair amount.
Yeah.
Just being the two of us playing together. Yeah, if we had,
I would say like that's pretty good for just 2 people out of like the 6 people on the team.
yeah,
Because, dude, me and you have played games where we both dropped over 70 kills in a control match,
yeah,
and we won.
yeah. We'll drop like combined like over 100 kills,
Mhm.
combined over 50, over 60 OBJ.
Mhm.
Like
And that's us like chugging game fuel, and we have to like react
yeah,
like
yeah,
like crazy because
yeah.
our teammates, I mean, they're not playing with us, and they're not helping us out. They're not running with us together. They're not stacking the point with us.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that they just run out and they try to get kills by themselves.
Yeah.
Like they see 3 guys and they'll try to get all 3.
Yeah.
That just doesn't work.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
You can't go into like a 1v3 like that, especially maybe if they're all turned around and they're just
their
staring.
backs.
Yeah. You can go for that, but if they're all down at like an alleyway
Mhm.
and they're running towards you and
Yeah.
you're gonna try to chow them, like nah, man, toss the Semtex and get the hell out
just
of there.
wait for your teammates, like leave, try something else.
Get some cover.
Yeah.
Do something,
Mhm.
get a head glitch going.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are all things. Even you see it at the pro level, those guys make those mistakes.
Yeah, they're simple mistakes
You know?
because I mean, again, they're simple mistakes because you shouldn't be doing it, but you do it anyways.
Right.
But like, man, when me and you were playing at like Crossroad, for example, like that's a really good map. When me and you were pushing the A point, we like run in together and we usually clear out that spot like pretty quickly.
Yep.
Because we're always together.
Yep.
And man, if we had a team of 4 or 6, even if you're not like, if you're just average COD players, if you all play together and work as a team, you're gonna beat a team that doesn't play together.
Yeah.
Even if you're worse players than them, it doesn't matter. If you play as a team, you'll always win.
Yeah. Like, for example, like, it's great you bring up Crossroads. Like, if we're attacking, right, we go to that A point, like, we'll always, nade Tiny, like, nade that small side door. And then when we're in there, you'll be probably watching
Big
Tiny
door.
or like, the big door there.
Mhm.
And then I'm on the stair set
Yeah.
watching, like, from their spawn,
Mhm.
trying to get all parts of the map covered there.
Yeah.
Getting control of that
Yeah.
point.
Mhm.
And then a big mistake they do, if they like 3 guys pushed in, they'd probably kill me.
Yeah. But they do it
But
one at a time.
they go one by one
Yeah.
all the time. They're just
Yeah.
like walking in on me, trying to kill me one at
Uh-huh.
a time. And I'm like, man, I've got cover.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got a freaking angle. I broke out my protractor to get this.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna kill me, just one guy,
Yeah.
But if they like slid in 2-3 guys and were shooting at me, I'll probably lose.
Yeah.
And then you'll go down too. Because
Yeah.
now you've got too many spots to cover.
Yeah.
And
These are just simple things that you can do.
yeah. Yeah.
Like a team of
It's not rocket surgery.
a team of it's basic math. A team full of bad players that work together and like make, even if it's not the right decision and it's a wrong decision, if you play as a team, you'll always beat the team that doesn't work together and just play like by themselves.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And those are always the games too where where they're not playing together. Maybe they have one guy on their team, 1 or 2 guys who are like they're really good.
Yeah.
But they get smoked.
Yeah.
Because if you and I are running together, like I don't care who you're playing against. Like they're not gonna be able to beat us.
Yeah.
Or
They'll get
like
1.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very rare that they'll get 2.
Yeah.
Unless we line up or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just dumb things like that. But for some of those guys, it's not their fault because maybe they join in and they've got a bunch of teammates they think they're playing team deathmatch.
Yeah. And, we've been those guys. We'll be the 2 guys that we're doing everything. And the teammates.
Breaking my back. Bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to win.
I'm hunched.
Yeah,
staring at the screen. And the rest of the teammates are like, I don't even know what they're doing. They're just walking around.
Yeah.
They're trying to get kills just to make their stats look better.
Right.
Meanwhile, me and you are like, come on.
Yeah.
Hop on the point. That's all we need you to do.
Hop on the point. Like if we're playing Garrison and
Yeah.
it's B, right? That's on the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think that's A. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Mhm.
You know, if you're there, I'm like, dude, get on the point. Have one person trying to watch, you know, where square is, like where the
Yeah.
forklift is, mid basically.
Mhm.
One person trying to watch top green,
Lights.
you know, and one
Yeah.
person watching lights, you
Yeah.
know. You can have, you know, a person on the point watching mid,
Mm-hmm.
guy in lights capturing, and you
Mhm.
can have other people stacking or trying to watch a flank.
Yeah.
Like, man, you can have enough people covering all the points
Yeah.
there. Game's done.
Yeah.
You know,
Watch
like
all
that
those
point.
angles.
Yeah. Watch every spot, particularly too from where, like at that point, if we kill them, they have to be spawning. Like they're spawning
Yeah.
over there. Like they're spawning like back tank area.
Yeah.
Like they're not spawning
Behind us. They're not.
They're
It's
not
not a split.
Yeah.
Split spawn.
Exactly. They're not spawning like over by artillery, like where
Yeah.
A is.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all spawning over there 100%.
Mhm.
There's only so many ways they can come at us.
Yeah.
You know, lights, mid, like, or I guess where bricks is, like, I mean, that's still part of
Yeah.
mid. They
Square.
funnel through there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, where square is. Or through top green.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
3 spots,
Mm-hmm.
watch those, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
And like me and you were only 2 people.
exactly.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
But me and
we
you,
gotta be hopping between.
yeah, we've played like 6 players that we knew we were better than them,
Yeah.
but we could never beat them because they would have like 4 people on the point or something.
Yeah.
We would get 1-2 kills and then we would die
Yeah.
because those other players would come and kill us.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are
And
the.
those are always the worst games because we know we're better than them, but they just outplayed us because they're a team.
Yeah, exactly. They're a team and they are somewhat communicating and working together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're not the next up and coming Atlanta FaZe or anything. You know, which is what's annoying is because we know we're better than them. We've got better
Yeah.
teamwork and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got numbers.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
they're using some communication, so they beat us.
Yeah. And like those are always the worst games. And then they shit talk.
Yeah, right.
And we're like,
You suck.
man.
Yeah. if we only had like 1 or 2 other people.
Yeah.
You know? But then on the flip side of that, man, is we come across clans. You
Mhm.
know, they all got the same clan
Oh
tag.
yeah.
And they suck.
WHA clan.
And they
yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe they're not like great. They don't have great gun skill,
Mhm.
but they just don't play together.
Yeah.
You know,
They're all by themselves.
yeah. And then we piece them. I'm like, man, these guys suck.
Yeah.
You
one
know?
by one, they all go
Yeah.
down.
You'd think normally when people are in a clan
Mhm.
that they're in like party chat together
Mhm.
and they're all talking,
Mhm.
and maybe they're trying to play the game.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
but man, these guys are probably talking about like their grocery list. You know, like
Or they're just shit talking. They're just so angry.
yeah,
They lost composure.
yeah,
And they're
legit.
just yelling at us.
Yeah, like,
And
dude,
I'm
this
like-
fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's such a bitch.
I'm like,
what?
you're just running at me.
Yeah,
Like, what am I supposed to do? Not shoot?
yeah, no, exactly.
And I'm sure people will be like, "Oh, you guys are sweaty, try hard."
Nah.
I'm like, dude, I don't join a game and I'm like, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, I play to win. I
yeah,
play
like
to win.
and they're like, well, what about fun? I'm like, well,
It is fun.
It is fun. Like
Oh,
playing
yeah.
together. Like,
Yeah, like when we play, we always are communicating.
Yeah.
You know, now we're not like over here like one shot,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
going crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe if like we are really trying to win.
Yeah, we're down 0-2 and we're like, we can do this.
Yeah,
we
you
can
know,
do this.
and we see that it is going our way.
Yeah.
We'll really put our try hard
Yeah.
pants on. But usually we'll be just like, one guy top SPs,
Yeah.
you know. But we're not like, one guy top,
Yeah.
what are we know? Like we're not going off here.
Yeah.
Sounded like a flock of birds. out
Yeah.
here, you know.
Like they're not like they're decent comms
Yeah.
because we're not.
we're not going that
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll talk about other things too while we're playing from
Yeah.
time to time.
And like we're just having fun. Like we just want to play COD.
Yeah.
But and then there are other teams that's just like they just shit talk us. They're like, "Oh, you guys try so hard, huh?" I'm like,
yeah.
"Man, you guys are just easy targets."
Yeah, you guys just blow at the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know
You
what
know.
to tell you.
Part of it too definitely is especially after watching watching a series
Oh,
of COD.
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
it's
You're
over.
cracked.
It
Yeah.
cracked off
When
your
you're
mouth.
watching these pro players and just watch them move, and then go and play a game of COD.
Yeah.
I promise you, you'll be better.
like 5
You'll be
times
better.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then like to get that extra like, 6 or 7, you go and have a can of game fuel
Yeah.
on standby. Oh, it's over.
it's over. Yeah,
It's over.
you're playing good.
Yeah. Because you definitely just take some of these ideas.
Mhm.
Like I've definitely from
Oh.
watching them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I take a lot of their things. I don't like sit down like and write it out on a notepad. Okay, I'm gonna go and
Yeah.
apply this. It's just you you're in that moment, like playing on that map. Maybe they were on. You're like, oh, dude, maybe that's a nice spot.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I was watching this morning, rewatching one of the games. I think it was the FaZe Ultra game, RIP. And it was Synth. They were on Garrison. He's on artillery, and he was watching like next to bricks, like alley there. Dude, I've never seen this angle. He's like on the artillery, like facing, like facing away from, like, he's not watching green. He's facing, like, if he's watching green this way, he's the other way.
Yeah.
And he's watching alley. He's like through this like tiny little sliver, but he sees enough. And I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I've never even thought of that.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm like, dude, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
Like, if I have someone in green, because they did. They got someone in green, so they don't got to watch there.
Yeah. So some of these spots are like, yeah, you can definitely get them for the pros, but also just like where they're just the routes that they're running and stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess like when they're playing objective game modes and stuff, you can apply the stuff like what they're doing to what you're doing in game. Like the like control, like we play a lot of control.
That's all we play basically.
Yeah, and like seeing them, there's only a few seconds left, but don't panic, because we can kill these guys and one team wipe will spawn them out.
Yep. Or
like, okay, look, there's this one guy, we can control the point, like we're fine. Don't chow him. Stuff like that.
Yep.
But you'll always have those people on the team where like we're on a point, it's like a 3v2, right? Me and you are on the point, that third guy's gonna be running around looking for the kill. I'm like, man, get on the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we'll win. Yeah.
Now there's a lot of those times too. Even when you and I are playing, sometimes we have to check each other. Like maybe lives will be kind of close, and I'm like, dude, just don't even bother. Like, don't even bother looking for him. It'll be like a 4v2 or 4v1, and I'm like, we got a couple guys. I'm like, just hop on the point, forget about it. Like if they want to win, they've got to come to us.
Yeah, Yeah, we do that on Moscow a lot when we're defending, especially because me and you were like sprinting around the map. Yeah. And when they cap B and when they're coming to A, if they just get a wipe where elbow is, like they're gonna get on A and cap, like instantly. Yeah. And that's all it takes, like just one team wipe, like 3 or 4 players go down and like they cap it. Yep. And when we see like our lives are pretty close, like we always tell each other like, slow down, we're good. We don't even need to like chow. Yeah, we don't need to move. I'll just sit back at like a heady and just wait. Yeah. Because we know that they have to come.
Yeah. And then sure enough, they come in and they're running in. Usually they'll run in like one at a time. Yeah. And there you go, Or they're all flooding in stairs and like they don't check that elbow, that left side there. And yeah, they get smoked. Yeah. Yeah, it's just really basic things like that you can do. When you watch the pros, even when you look at the mini map, like they're kind of sometimes they're spread out, but it's not that bad. But like they're spread out where they're covering the map and they've got control of it.
Yeah, you want map control. That's how you win games. Yeah. Getting map control and putting pressure on the other team. Yeah. We can end it like on this point, like about map control. A good example is Nuketown. Nuketown, if you get map control, it's over. The other team can't win. It's over. If you get control of the middle of the map where the like that lane where the buses are, if you're there first and you win, these guys have nowhere to go. Yeah. Like they can't push out.
Yeah, every time I've played that map and then like say we're defending and I push right side. So which one is that? Is that A?
Yeah.
Right side. Yeah, if I push up there and I get a kill, or if no one hits me, like no one's even looking at me, and I get like a little bit past that sign, and I see like all 3 of them and they're at B, I'm just like, oh, it's over. Yeah, like the game's just started, but I'm like, yeah, they're not even bothering to look this way. So I get those kills, maybe, and then I'll chill, watch that lane, or I'll just run into their house, and I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna be the most annoying person in the world.
Yeah. If I'm spawning, if we're defending, I run straight up like where the Jeep is, where B is. Yep. And I get control of that. Yeah. And if I win my 1 or 2 kills that those guys push there, because people always push that side.
Yeah, and Nuketown's so small that it's not that bad.
And like when I get those 2 kills, I'm like, we're good. Because then I'll run up into the garage. Yeah. And now they're spawn trapped immediately. And it only took 1 or 2 kills. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Nuketown is like that, It's very control in general seems to be like that. It can be very like offense. What is it? Defense heavy
in this game.
You know,
Yeah.
like garrisons like that. Like if you're say like you've got two teams that are decent, and again map control is so important on that one. Oh man, if you push them back and you've got like we're pushed up, like
But yeah, if they're spawning back tanks,
you spawn so far back,
yeah,
you know, that you can just annihilate them. It takes so long.
Yeah, and Nuketown's like it's a small map, so you can sort of get away with it. But
Yeah,
Nuketown's also that map when you're stuck in spawn.
it's terrible.
Like you're literally stuck. Like you can't move.
Yeah,
There are times where you can. If there's a guy in garage, if there's a guy on the other side of the house, like, and like where the chimney is, and if there's a guy left of garage,
getting PTSD just thinking about this. Right
like
now.
you're not moving.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, and again because it's so small, the lives just they go and they go
Yeah.
and they go, and then you see it and it's like you got like a 12v25 on your hands. You're like, what?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could just happen
In a blink of an eye.
from like two guys.
Yeah.
And like we've done that before.
Yeah.
And it's happened to us
I was
before.
gonna say, yeah, we've done it and we've been on the receiving end of it.
Because
too.
when we see teammates, like if we're attacking and all of you sit inside the house and you don't move, and me and you are the only ones that just run out, I'm like, it's chalked.
Yeah.
Unless we're like beaming.
Yeah. Yeah, that map is it's like very hot and cold.
You can't sit in the house and just camp there. You can maybe have like one person, like if you're
on defense, you're saying, or if you're on offense.
either way,
Yeah.
because like you're not getting mad. Like if all 6 of you are defending and you're all inside the house, you have you have no angles.
No,
Right?
you're
Like,
screwed. You're screwed.
you need map control no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether attacking or defending.
Yeah, if you have a couple guys who are like
1 to 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean the worst is if you're on offense and you've got some prick who's like in the house in the door.
Yeah.
And he's like watching.
Yeah.
Like he's got like some crazy angle and he's using an ACOG stoner. And then you've got a guy who is on top of the railing where the chimney is, like, but then the rest of his team is pushed up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you hate it, but that's like a good strategy.
Because they have map control now.
Yeah, you know.
But
you're also using the stoner ACOG, so get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But if you have if you have 4 people in the house, like me and you usually, and then me and you are the only ones running up, like we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Because we'll get outnumbered, and then the team won't trade. Usually the team won't trade. They're just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then we run out again because we're trying to cap, and we die again, and it's just a cycle at that point.
Yeah, that map is. Oh man.
Because when we're playing, we're trying to get kills, but at the same time, like we need the map control because we both know if we get inside their house, it's over.
Yeah.
Once we get that control, like they're not moving anywhere.
Yeah, there's a certain point with all the maps where
there's like that line. If
you
cross that line, like
you know it's over.
Yeah, you can control it.
Yeah. There's that particular threshold where you get to that spot and you're getting kills. You know, like if you're on, I think it's just because like if you're on Garrison and you're on their top
green.
Yeah, there you're on like the top platform there, like balcony, I guess you want to call it, or if you're to the right of there, watching spawns, it's over.
Yeah,
you know. It'll just go down so fast.
And that definitely comes down to like confidence and like your gun skill. But man, once you have map control, it's like you basically win the game. Yeah. Because for the most part, most people just run at you. Yeah. 1 by 1, too.
Yeah, so it's so important, you know, trying to win games. You know, it's not always like, I mean, yeah, you got to have some gun skill to be able to get to that point. But it's really just it's your positioning where you are on the map. You know, if you're just running around aimlessly, and you've got like a team of 6 doing that, I mean, you're not really going to be doing much. They're just going to constantly push up and, you know, trying to get that point, and then they may get that, you know.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, tip of the day. Take map control.
Yeah. Watch the pros do it, too. Watch them do it,
Take map control, play your numbers, and you'll win. Even if you're, like, not a good player or average, like, you'll still win.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to have, because, like, we don't have, like, we've got really good gun skill, but, I mean, compared to, like, these professionals, like, dude, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and it's just 2 of us.
You know, it's just 2 of us, you know, like, those guys are on another level, you know, but you don't got to be that good. Yeah. Like that, you know, again, like we talked about earlier, there's teams that we played where we smoked them,
Mhm.
you know, regarding like kills and everything.
Mhm.
Like we know we're better than them, but
Mhm.
they win because they're working together and they've
Yeah.
got map control.
Mhm.
And at that point, we can't do anything. It's
Yeah.
part of it's like saying like we're not good enough,
Mhm.
but it's like they've played it to that point where they've put us in such a difficult
Yeah,
position.
they just outnumber us.
Yeah, you know, so it's
And
a
then
tough one to get into.
They shit talk us.
Yeah, and then
Mm.
that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think that's a good place to wrap it up there.
There we go. Right at the hour.
At
mark.
the hour.
Right.
Game map control. That is the tip. I want to see you guys next episode. I want to see people in Cold War just taking map control.
Yeah. If we see it and we're getting smoked,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to take back our advice.
Yeah,
Be like,
don't
you know
do
what?
that
Map
against us."
control is stupid.
Yeah. But yeah. Man, good major. I hope you. So next week is, or well, this week as we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording on the 12th today. So
yeah. Episode 8's out, so give that a listen.
Yep.
This
on
week.
all platforms.
Yep, on all platforms. This weekend it's the break for the CDL. Giving the players a break, they deserve it.
Absolutely.
You know? And we'll still be like playing games and stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, of course.
Always
That's
gonna be
never
playing
changing.
games. We'll be talking about our pubs next episode.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're all on all streaming platforms. We're on YouTube too.
Yep.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
Give us your ratings. Let us know how we're doing.
Yep.
I can't believe we're almost on episode.
I was gonna say
10.
next one is the big one,
Yeah.
big episode 10. Yeah. So next episode we'll be finishing up with some of the
rest of the CDL teams.
with the
part
last
3.
Yep, this is the third and final parts of the last 4 teams in the CDL.
There are a lot of big teams, so get ready.
Yeah. These are like the teams.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already looking forward to it. And again,
Yeah.
we made the milestone. So if you've been
10 episodes.
so if you've been tuning in, we greatly appreciate you at
yeah.
the beginning of the journey here to episode 10.
And our UK friend too.
Yep, we still
Man,
see you. Shout
yeah.
out, brother. We appreciate you,
We
brother
love
or
it.
sister, whoever you are. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
We love it.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I'm Justin.
and I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys later.
All right, take it easy, y'all.
Peace.